Hello, everyone. Welcome.
If you want to be important, wonderful. If you want to be recognized, wonderful. If you want to be great, wonderful. But recognize that he who is greatest among you shall be your servant. That's a new definition of greatness. And this morning, the thing that I like about it, by giving that definition of greatness, it means that everybody can be great. Because everybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and your verb agree to serve. You don't have to know about Plato and Aristotle to serve. You don't have to know Einstein's theory of relativity to serve. You don't have to know the second theory of thermodynamics in physics to serve. You only need a heart full of grace, soul generated by love, and you can be that servant.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Well, we thank you so much for joining us. We're going to go ahead and get started right away. Thank you for taking time out of your day. Hello, everyone. I noticed that there's still a few more people hopping on. Welcome, welcome. And I'll jump right into it. So hello, everyone, and welcome to the Up to Us Sports MLK Day of Service 2023. The campaign for a federal holiday in Dr. King's honor, it began soon after his assassination in 1968. And it was President Ronald Reagan who signed the holiday into law in 1983. And the first MLK Day of Service was observed on January 20th in 1986. And so some 37 years later, people are still gathering, they're still continuing his legacy. So thank you so much for joining us today and welcome. So yesterday, communities across the country, they did their part to serve. But today we pause to give our Up to Us Sports community the chance to do its part. So united we serve, to be vocal, to inspire, and to meet a need. And to kick off our meeting today, please join me as we welcome Up to Us Sports Ambassador John Henson as he presents our ambassador address. But before he begins, just a little bit about Mr. Henson. And so Mr. Henson served in his NBA career for the Milwaukee Bucks. He also did some time with the Detroit Pistons and the Cleveland Cavaliers. After his playing days, he transitioned into a broadcasting role, and currently he is serving as a basketball and betting analyst for MSG Networks, in addition to college basketball analyst for the Field of 68. Please correct me in any way if I'm wrong.
Oh, you're good. That's more than enough. That's more than enough. I appreciate you.
But then since 2014, we've known you as the Up to Us Sports Ambassador, and we thank you so much for the time you've taken to use sports and mentoring to inspire youth in underserved communities. Please take it away, Mr. Henson. Thanks so much for being here.
I appreciate you. Been with Up to Us since 2014. Up to Us was probably my first kind of, I would say, big kind of partnership as an athlete. So it's something true, near and dear to my heart. And that's why I'm glad to be on today to talk about the impact that Dr. King has had on my life. It goes beyond measure. Just being an athlete and African-American, you know, the ideals that he fought for, I'm just thankful that he fought for a dream that was bigger than himself. He had a dream that outlived his life, and his service to the community in all aspects was something that I can't put into words. And hopefully I'm doing just a small part in helping kind of continue that legacy that he's trying to put forward. You know, he once said that everyone can be great because everyone can serve. And I think that's the best thing he could have ever said about community service. You don't need much to serve. Everyone can be great in that aspect. And it's had a lasting impact on me and how I carry myself, the community, and what I do to help to serve my community. He sought equality and human rights for African Americans, and there's no doubt in my mind, without his persistence and his for civil rights, I don't even know if we'd be on a Zoom call, right? Or we'd have Up to Us, or just being an athlete, being able to step into rooms and be around in segregated segregated spaces or unsegregated spaces. I'm sorry. So that's something that I'm just super thankful. I can't talk about it enough. And as his legacy ages, we must not forget to keep pushing that his ideals and his dreams he fought so hard for and ultimately gave his life for. And that's something that, as I've gotten older, I mean, I can remember, Martin Luther King Day when I was in second grade. So as we age and as his legacy becomes older, we must not forget, and we must put onto, the younger generation how important he was. We can't let them forget. And that's the biggest thing I have to say for that aspect. And if your dreams are something that you can accomplish under your own power, then you aren't dreaming big enough. And that's my final kind of thought on that process and everything that's going on with MLK Day and this day of service. Continue to serve the community, continue to push his ideals, continue to push his legacy, and continue to push it on the younger generation so they don't forget. And that's how in this little speech, and hopefully everyone has a great day. And thanks for having me on. And I can't wait to do more and see more from everyone Up to Us.
Thank you so much. You've said plenty, and we thank you so much for your time as well. And so, yeah, truly, as in the words of Dr. King himself, he said, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, continue his service, continue his legacy, and keep moving everything forward. Thank you so much. And so now, Up to Us sports community, what can you do? How can you serve? We challenge you today to answer the call to serve, and we've devised 3 different areas for you to serve in. And we've called those the Be Vocal, the Inspire, or Meet and Need service areas. And so, as I mentioned before, our theme for today is United We Serve, to be vocal, to inspire, and to meet a need. And after this call, we will be sure to distribute among you a little one-pager describing each service area and a way in which you can serve. But before we go ahead and share that, I wanted to go through each service area for you, just to give you a little understanding of each of them. And so the call to be vocal, you can be vocal by signing the Save Youth Sports petition. So we've identified a petition, and it's currently going on change.org. It will be sent to the House of Representatives. And basically, some of the goals include keeping nonprofit locations open. So petitioning for funds for loans, things like rental space for nonprofit locations. There's also a clause in there for relief coverage related to COVID-19. So many nonprofits are still suffering or still under the grips of what COVID-19 did to our community. We were all sort of just like silenced by it. And so we're hoping that there will be some coverage for that. There's also an area that encourages us to create tax-related rebates for staffing needs. And so that's also written in there. And so while we've highlighted this area in which you could be vocal, we encourage you actually to continue it even further than that. Perhaps you can be vocal in your own communities by pushing for others to go ahead and sign this. You can be vocal by talking about what your locations are doing to serve and how they're impacting youth. And so while you may not sign a petition, definitely let your voice be heard. So on behalf of all our youth, let your voice be heard. And so that's one service area, and we'll touch on another. So you can inspire. And as I mentioned before, we will share one pager. Don't worry, there'll be more information on each service area, but we encourage you to inspire and to go ahead and use the Up to Us 7 words or less strategy and put that into action. On our call today, we have some coaches who are sort of like seasoned using the 7-word strategy. We encourage you to get creative, and perhaps for today or even this week, use the strategy in a unique kind of way and encourage a service-oriented activity with your youth. For those on the call who aren't coaches and you may not be familiar with the 7-word strategy, we will share a link to the training video so you can become familiar with it. Here are the 7 steps or the 7 strategies that are often used in that training paradigm. And for instance, you can even use it outside the coaching arena. You can inspire your coworkers and others around you. I'm seeing the how did you do that step. Many of us as Vistas, we are creating process documents. We are serving in the back office somewhere. A lot of what we do involves just making processes and procedures work. Maybe you can outline that and share it with someone, and you can be an advocate for that. How did you do that step? So get creative. We encourage you to come up with it and then tell us all about it. And for the final way in which you can serve, we've actually found 4 different ways that you can meet a need. And I always encourage, though, that outside of what we've provided, you're more than welcome to come up with another service area and to meet a need. So many of our communities have great needs and needs that are specific to that community. So pick it and run with it. But here are 4 that we've highlighted. So you can meet an access-related need by tapping into the FCC's Affordable Connectivity Program. It's a program that's available to provide broadband access to many who otherwise wouldn't have internet service. COVID-19 highlighted that so many are without this basic need, and so provide that service to someone today or even this week. Next, we've highlighted a finance-related resource. So you can share the IRS free file information, and that's for qualifying taxpayers. They can get services that are free or very reduced cost. So definitely share that finance-related resource now that we're on tax season or that we're in tax season. You can also meet a clothing-related need. Right now, it's the winter season, and just about in many communities, everyone needs a coat. So go ahead and donate. We've identified One Warm Coat as a major organization that's nationwide. Believe me when I say there's a location in your area for dropping off a coat. So definitely take the time to perhaps donate a coat. And then finally, you can help fight hunger. We often share SNAP resources as Vistas, and so I encourage you, make it a goal, share SNAP resources with even one person today or this week. And all of this will be provided in the one pager. So just look out for that when we're all done here. And finally, we just wanted to encourage you to even get active right now. Make a pledge to serve, and this is your first activity for your service day. And so go ahead and access this QR code and join me in signing our pledge board. And it's your way of making it loud and vocal in our community right here, right now, to say that you will make a pledge to serve this MLK Day. And we've extended it. Why only serve today? Let's make it a week-long mission to serve our community. And so here's our pledge board. You can take the time to go ahead and sign it. And I'll give you some time to do that. And while we're waiting, this is also a great opportunity to invite you to even be vocal. Oh, I see some coming through. I see Sammy D, you've pledged to serve. I see Kurt and Darian, Scott, thank you so much. Jaleesa, thank you for making a pledge to serve. And if you feel comfortable enough, you can go ahead and even unmute. Tell us, what kind of ideas do you have to serve this service day? Or did you serve yesterday? And do you mind sharing what that was like? Anyone comfortable enough? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm being told that in this webinar format, we're unable to unmute. I'm so sorry, but if you want to drop it into the chat, feel free to do so, and we'll go ahead and read that out. But we just want to, again, thank you so much for taking the time to come on out, find ways to serve, and use the ways that we've shared with you to serve. I'm seeing a lot more names coming through here. Zanette, you've pledged to serve. Thank you so much. Anna. And Lee Smith says, I'm using my phone, so I'm unable to at the moment, but we thank you anyway, Lee. No problem at all. So we thank you so much again for coming out. And this was just our town hall, our way to give you ideas as to how to serve. And so again, thanks for coming. And we hope you feel motivated enough to serve.
It's the question we ask ourselves when we witness hardship and hear of neighbors in need. It's the question Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. called life's most persistent and urgent. And it's the question that AmeriCorps answers on MLK Day and throughout the year, mobilizing the talents and compassion of volunteers across America against our most pressing challenges, meeting uncertainty and despair with community and action. The challenges America faces today are real and made more daunting by a long pandemic. But AmeriCorps' tradition of service is longer, and we stand galvanized, ready to help lead America out of its struggles and toward Dr. King's vision of the beloved community, a society rooted in love, justice, and equal opportunity. AmeriCorps is humbled to helm America's call to serve today, to lift each other up and bring together our country, today and every day, for the greater good. Thank you for putting your neighbors first, for meeting our country's challenges with rolled up sleeves, an outstretched hand, and a servant's heart. Thank you for serving others. That's how America will emerge from these difficult times. That's how we will recover and come back stronger, because together, nothing is insurmountable. Together, we are the best of America. We are AmeriCorps.
So thank you again for being here. And I just wanted to make sure to mention, thanks Lee for including your comment. So you mentioned that Lost Boys Inc., you served at the Obama Foundation. Thank you so much for that. And we're still here just for another few minutes. So if you want to stick around and leave a question in the chat or anything that you'd like to add, feel free to do so. But look out for those resources, as we mentioned. We will go ahead and share that with you. It's a one-pager with all the links, all the information you will need to know how to serve. Feel free to choose one and serve by using one, or you can even choose to use all of them to serve. Feel free to do as many as you'd like. And one of the key elements we'd like for you to remember is please share your service-related information with us. Share content, share pictures, share videos. We'd love to share that on our social media platforms. And feel free to do that on your own social media platforms as well. Thank you so much, and go serve.